This is Brandon with Fleet Feet, and today we've got the clash of the titans in the speed running shoe world. The Endorphin Speed 5 matched up against the New Balance Rebel V5. Now, both of these shoes are very popular speed day and daily trainer options, both of which offer versatility, a lightweight package, and just overall a really nice, smooth, and cushioned ride. And the New Balance Rebel V5 is mainly here to focus on being a lightweight daily trainer all-in-one package. From the 4th to the 5th version, New Balance has added more stack and cushioning to this shoe, not only making it more responsive, but more cushioning too. And New Balance's main focus here is all about versatility, making sure that this is a shoe that you can use not only for easy run days, but long run days and speed days too. While the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5 has been pushing boundaries in the speed area. With a fast and responsive foam like Power Run PB, a nylon plate, this shoe speaks to fast, and it speaks to a little bit of a firmer ride than that of the Rebel. Saucony is offering this shoe to be designed as a daily training companion for a race day option like the Pro 4 or the Elite. But while this shoe is versatile, it's great for daily training runs, it's great for long runs and speed days. You can definitely use this shoe for a variety of different use cases and workouts. Though this shoe is mainly going to lean on the side of speed. But which shoe is going to be best for you? Are you deciding between both of these shoes, or do you just want to learn a little bit more? Regardless, we're going to break everything down and tell you all you need to know about these two shoes. But first, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us as we continue to put out new videos. Now let's work through these shoes like we typically do and start with the upper. Starting with the Rebel V5. The Rebel V5 has an engineered mesh with phantom fit construction, which gives the upper a really nice lightweight feel, but a nice lockdown and snug fit too. Though one of the things that I really loved about this shoe was how breathable it was, and you can tell that just from this mesh here, it's almost translucent in the way that it feels on foot. And while the upper is thin and airy, it's really ideal for warm weather days. And while the V4 maybe had some issues around the heel collar, they've updated that in the 5th version here so you won't get any hot spots or blistering. And our team found that from a sizing perspective, it fit true to size for them with a little bit of room in the toe box for a nice toe splay. Now, moving on to the Endorphin Speed 5, you can just tell that this race upper is fast. The overall structure and design is thin, it's minimal, and you could tell it's very breathable too. The heel collar and tongue are thin, and there is gusseting in the tongue for a really nice lockdown fit and support. And one of the big changes from the 4th model to the 5th model of the Speed is that there is more structure in the heel collar, and they've used a knit upper this time for even more reinforcement and lockdown. Both of these uppers have really nice similarities to them. They've got structure in the heel collar, the tongues are gusseted, they have thin, low profile upper designs, and they're really breathable. Either one that you go with here, you're gonna have a really nice ride. Though I will say that if you're looking for a more accommodating or roomier fit in the toe box, then something like the Rebel might work better for you. However, the best way to actually figure out whether one of these uppers is gonna fit best for you is to actually walk into a local Fleet Feet store and try both of these shoes on for yourself. Go get your foot scanned, go through the fit ID and outfitting process, and figure out whether the Speed or the Rebel is the best shoe for you, or maybe something else that they have to offer. Now let's move on to the midsole. And the midsole is really where these two shoes start to break apart a little bit more. And the big difference right off the bat that you're gonna notice between these two shoes is that one has a plate and one does not. But first, let's just start with the Rebel V5. The Rebel V5 is made up of FuelCell midsole technology, which is a PIBA blend, which means that it's not just made up of PIBA, it's also made up of other foams like EVA. Though this PIBA blend does allow for a really nice balanced approach. You get nice cushioning, but you also get a responsive feel when you're running and going through your stride. This shoe doesn't have a plate in it, so you're not gonna get that stiff or rigid feeling in the shoe from the plate, and this model has been tweaked to be slightly softer than that of the previous one. Though I will say that the midsole foam here really holds its structure well. It's fast, it's springy, it's really lightweight on foot, and it's gonna be ideal for easy runs, long run days, or just really any type of up-tempo work that you wanna do, versatility is key with a shoe like the Rebel. And just from feeling the shoe and squeezing it here, it's really nice and cushioned. You could tell it's really soft and has that springy feel to it. Just from an overall testing perspective, you could just tell right here that it's nice and flexible, but it pops up really quickly. So you could just see that there's that really nice, dynamic, and responsive feel to it. Now moving on to the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5, Saucony has continued to use the same foam from the first version all the way to the 5th version, Power Run PB, which is the same foam that they use in some of their race day shoes like the Pro. And just from an overall feel perspective, this one is much more rigid than that of the Rebel, and it's going to be a more stiff and responsive ride underfoot. Something that is different about this shoe versus the Rebel is that it actually is full PEBA, whereas this is a PEBA blend. So you are gonna get a more stiff and responsive ride because of that. And couple that in with a full nylon plate in this shoe, it's going to offer a lot of springiness and responsive feel. And while this plate offers that snappy propulsion, it's going to add to that really nice elite level feel that you would see in other race day shoes. And while not too much has actually changed from an already great first, second, third, fourth, and now 5th version of this shoe, there have been slight tweaks to the midsole and the upper. And this year, from the 4th to the 5th version, it was mainly an upper change just to really dial it in and make sure that there's a really nice lockdown and fit. But the big story here is in the geometry and sculpting of the midsole. And so that's where Saucony was just trying to find a better way to create smoother transitions and a really nice stable feel on foot. I had no issues when I was going through my stride in this shoe, and I absolutely loved it on foot, and so did the rest of our team. And now let's just talk a little bit about the drop and the stack of these shoes. The Rebel comes in at a 6mm drop, where the Endorphin Speed comes in at a 8mm drop, and the stack height of these shoes, the Rebel comes in at 35 in the heel and 29 in the toe, and the Endorphin Speed at 36 in the heel and 28 in the toe, making it a slightly higher stack height in the heel. Now let's move on to the outsole. And there isn't too much to say about either one of these shoes, but in the Rebel there is a little bit more rubber outsole than that of the previous model for enhanced durability and traction, but it still retains a really nice weight and flexibility. And for the Endorphin Speed 5, they decided to target certain zonal areas, high impact areas of where the foot will strike. So you can tell that right here, there's rubber in the heel and in the forefoot. And what they were really trying to achieve here was to have a really nice grip, but on a variety of different surfaces. So you could tell that through the heel and through the forefoot, they were really just trying to make sure that there was enough durability and rubber coverage, not too much that it would take away from the speed or the feel of the shoe, but just enough to really get a nice grip. Now let's just talk a little bit about the ride and performance of each of these shoes. The Rebel V5 is springy, it's smooth, and it's lightweight on foot, but this one really takes the cake in versatility. If you're someone who's looking for a plateless daily trainer and you don't want the nylon plate or the carbon plates, and you just want a really nice, solid, simple shoe with a really good foam on foot, then this shoe is gonna work really well for you. And this shoe is really gonna be able to handle everything from everyday miles to light tempo runs. So I would say this shoe is really great for more like up-tempo days when you wanna pick up the pace, but you don't want that plate and you don't wanna be like forced forward or pushed forward too hard, and you still want that nice cushion feel. Maybe it's not as quick as, say, a shoe like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5, but this one has a really nice use case to it too. The Saucony Endorphin Speed 5, it's snappy, it's propulsive, it's fast on foot, and it just provides that really nice quick turnover and cadence. With the more aggressive PEBA foam and the nylon plate, this shoe is going to be a fast one and almost a substitute for a race day option. So if you're looking for a shoe that you want to move really fast in and maybe PR, then something like the Endorphin Speed 5 is going to take you there. And this is a shoe that you'll not only be able to train in, but race in too. The New Balance Rebel V5 comes in at 7.5 ounces or 213 grams for the men's model, and 6.3 ounces or 179 grams for the women's model. And the Endorphin Speed 5 weighs in a little bit more at 8 ounces or 227 grams for the men's model, or 7.2 ounces or 204 grams for the women's model. Both of these shoes come in at $140. But the big question here is, which shoe is best for you? Well, we would recommend that you choose the Rebel if you want something that's flexible, it's unplated, and it's a more do-it-all daily trainer, and it feels nice and springy. It's really a shoe that is a Swiss Army knife for all runners. But if you're looking for something with a bit of a faster feel and a faster touch, maybe something that's more propulsive and springy, and you're looking for a plate, then maybe a shoe like the Endorphin Speed would work best for you, especially if this is a shoe that you plan on using not just for training, but for race day too. But if you want to learn even more about the Rebel or the Endorphin Speed series, you can go check them out on our blog, where we share all of our written thoughts and reviews at fleetfeet.com, or you could check out even more of our videos right here on YouTube.